Hello, Dahlia here, welcome to my channel. The wonderful Emily Bourne and I have been working on this collaboration for what feels like a super long time. With Camp NaNoWriMo just passed and our really insanely busy lives trying to keep us from contacting each other and sorting out this collaboration, I am so surprised we got to do this at all. Emily is currently working on her work in progress, Brittany and Charlie. Now this is a coming of age story about two sisters who are just trying to find their way in school and in life and being completely polar opposites. So as you can imagine, a lot of romance ensues, especially being that it is from high school. Emily is so dedicated to writing really healthy and realistic relationships and different romances that Brittany and Charlie's, honestly, the world is going to love them just as much as she does. I, on the other hand, don't really write a lot of romance. I tend to focus on sci-fi and fantasy and the darker elements of these genres, say like dystopian, so I don't write a lot of relationships. The acro-contessa does have some romance, but it's really a subplot and it gets explored as much as it needs to, but it's not in the main plot. So we wanted to compare how we each write romance, and we've compiled 4 tips each for you. When you're done here, please hop over to Emily's channel and watch her video, and the link is in the description bar. But if you've come here from Emily's channel, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. Let's get into it. Number 1, if you have a new love in your story, make sure that you establish their relationship early on. What I mean by this is make sure that they know each other or have met each other early on in the novel so that eventually your reader will become obsessed with them and want them to get together and will anticipate every single little moment between them. This is a sure way to avoid insta-love, which we don't like. If your characters don't have a friendship or something that brings them together, then they're not really going to feel realistic. And also, your reader won't be rooting for the characters. This could be something as simple as just them becoming friends or being friends before the book starts, or potentially doing something or finding something in common that actually creates a kind of connection between them. However, you can also write the forbidden love thing, or the lovers to, the haters to lovers or whatever, where at first they don't like each other. This is a cliche, so be careful how you write this, but it's been done and some of them have been very enjoyable to read. Number 2, both parties have to be likable. If your reader doesn't like these two characters, they're not going to care if they get together. There's going to be no reason for that love. There are many ways that you can make your characters likable, and this doesn't just mean being a perfect human being in terms of appearance and personality, because they do not exist and no one wants to read it. This is another huge cliche, but more manageable ways are things like having them communicate and having them respect one another, making them good people other than just being nice people. You can have an asshole of a character so long as they're good to the people they care about, and there's a reason why they're an asshole to other characters. Number 3, and on the flip side to the last one, is each character has to have flaws. So in the last point, if you want your character to be perfect in appearance and personality, or likable in that sort of regard, then they need to have a flaw as well, at least one. All humans have flaws, and if your characters don't, then the reader isn't going to associate with them and connect with them because they're not going to feel real. This doesn't mean that your character has to be a brutal badass murderer or some crap like that. They could just have a problem where they get angry at certain things, or they flip out, or they have anxiety and it stops them from doing what they should be doing. The flaw doesn't have to be fatal. It doesn't have to be something that's really dramatic and terrible. It can just be something so base level. The flaw might be as simple as the female character wears too much makeup and it's not really nice to look at. And finally, number 4, that both parties have to actually like each other. I've read way too many books where the couple in question insult each other all the time, and quite meanly too. Like, it's not just fun joking around, sarcasm and stuff. It's really being disgusting to one another. And people eat this up and think that that is romance. Wouldn't it be much better if you read a book about two people who actually liked each other, and for more than just their appearance, like something underneath, something real and tangible? This also goes back to what I mentioned before, how the characters might not like each other at the start. You know what, that is perfectly fine, but if you want your characters to actually become a couple or have any sort of romance in their story, then you need them to actually like each other. Do you fall in love with someone that you don't like? Maybe there are some people out there, but I don't think that this is every single person. And it's not realistic for a character to get with another character if they don't actually like anything about them. What would be their motive for getting with them? Unless it is for greed or for personal gain in some respect, rather than just getting with this other character because they genuinely care about them. So that concludes this video. If you have any questions or want me to cover a specific topic, please drop a comment below. If you want to follow my journey on other platforms, see the links in the description bar. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and more. I post videos every Thursday and tags every other Wednesday, so subscribe and hit that little bell if you want to be notified. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye! Go ahead and go to Emily's channel now and go and watch her video, because it's going to be amazing.